Hi guys, good morning and good evening to all. Today I am going to explain about Maven. Actually, what is Maven, how it works, and what is the use of the Maven in Spring Boot. Uh, Before going to the topic, please like and subscribe my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. So the topics I am going to cover in these videos are basics of Maven and what are the advantages and how we can use in that Maven, and also what is standard directory of the Maven, and starters, how we can use dependencies in Maven, and all we can cover in this video. What is Maven? Maven is the one of the project management tool, and it mostly use of Maven for build management and dependencies. It is very easy to add dependencies in pom.xml, and we can easily add those dependencies without adding externally by in class paths, and without the externally it's very easy to add by using this Maven. And coming to uses of the Maven, when building your any Java project, you may need to add your jar files additionally. For example, Spring or Hibernate, you need to download the jar files and you need to add to your Java project. For example, if you have any hands-on experience on servlets or any other, you need to like SQL connectors or JDBC connectors, you need to download from the other sources and you need to copy here in the library folder, and you need to add externally to the jar files. So without that, we need to add Maven, we need to add jar files to the build paths externally. It takes some time to take it, but by using of the Maven, it will automatically add the jar files to your path without adding you externally and taking time complexity also, without having the time complexity. And it will automatically download the jar files for you for what you want in the project, and you are compiling or run it will automatically add to your project. Here I am going to explain how the Maven works in this by diagram. So after developer configuring the file and adding the dependencies, the Maven will read the config file, means which jar file it needs to add. So it will go to your local repository and finds whether your jar file is there or not in your local repository. If it was there, fine, it will save for your config file. If it was not there, it again go back to your remote control like Maven central repo. It will go to and collects the jar file and downloads for you, and it will save into your local repo and get back to your file. For building, for running that, it will comes to you, and it will run automatically without you adding the jar file externally. And so that is the basic use of the Maven. So we can directly call the jar files with by Maven without adding externally. So that is the main use. And another also to use the Maven is standard directory structure. Like it have a one of the structure, so you no need to worry on things for checking where the files was there. For suppose it's like source main Java, we have only Java files in that code. And for resources, we need to add like application.properties. It's very important, like whenever we need to change any servers or we need to add anything, we will do changes in these properties. And like web app, in here we need to add some JSP files like HTML, CSS and JavaScript files here. And for testing, we have source test. In here we can write any codes to test the code and properties of the files. This is the structure how it was there, like pom.xml. Here we need to add the dependencies for our project and the source. Here in the main Java resources and web app, and Java like Java source courses and resources for properties, and web app for any HTML and CSS, and testing to test the unit tests out. So what are the advantages of the standard direct structure? Like if any new developer or anyone is coming to the project, he will find very easily where the Java codes and where the unit test is and where the web files and where the application property it is in order. So it's very easy to find out where that was placed. And some most IDEs is built-in support for Maven, like IntelliJ and Eclipse and NetBeans have the support of this Maven. And by using this Maven projects which are portable, so developers can easily share the projects between the different IDs. So these are the advantages of the standard structure. And coming to advantages of the Maven, first one is dependency management, where the jar files Maven will find out for you and it can automatically add to your files. and there is no more missing of the jar files by adding the dependencies. And when building and running, there will be no path issues for that. And one more is, as explained, standard data structures. I'm going to explain pom.xml. So what was there in the pom.xml, how we can read it very easily. So POM defines for project object model. It is configuration where we can add our dependencies and all other, what is the project name and what is the versions, all will be there in this pom.xml. Here we have like first one is project metadata. In project metadata, we have like what is the project name and what is the version we are using, like all of the details regarding the project. Here the defined by the project metadata automatically. And coming to the dependencies, if we need any starters packages or web packages or Spring packages or any other JPAs or Hibernate packages, we need to add the dependencies. And plugins, we need to add any plugins. Here we can add the plugins there, and I will show you on this page. Yeah, it is a project metadata, and it having like what is a version and what is a project name and what is which version using the SpringBoot, and all the details was present in this here. And coming to dependencies, here we need to add any dependencies we need to add, we can add here. So like group ID, artifact ID and versions, we need to add here. Then it will automatically, the jar files will be downloaded by using the Maven. Like we was added like SpringBoot starter web. If you want to add any JPA, SpringBoot starter JPA, and want any Hibernate or any SpringSecurities, we need to add dependencies here, and we can add the jar files automatically by using this Maven. And here it was a plugins. Like we can add the plugins here. What is group ID? Group ID is like a name of the company or one of the organization, like organization.springframework.put. We need to add like that, like it was like a one of the city name. Next, artifact ID, it's like the name of that project, means which of the jar file you are using, like a SpringBoot starter web or SpringBoot starter JPAs or SpringBoot starter securities, like you need to add here. And next one is version, like what is the versions, like 1.0 or 1.0 or 2.0, like that. It is optional, but for best practice you need to add version also, because some of the applications will maybe a later version. So versions, by adding that, it will be very good. And next, how we can find the dependencies, like if you don't know what the jar files you need to add, the easiest approach is to go for maven.org, and we can find. If you want any SpringSecurity, what is the dependencies, like what is the group ID and what is the artifact ID, you can go and search there and you can get that what to use and get from there. And you need to add in the pom.xml, so it will automatically add to your dependencies to the jar file. Otherwise you need to the project like spring.io or hibernate.org, and you can find that what you want to add to the jar files for your specifically to your project. Thank you guys. This is all about the Maven, and in next video I am going to explain about how we can run the server, and how we can run our local host in our mission, and also changing the servers from 8080 to what we want, like in application properties, by using some small codes and changes. So please tune to my channel for upcoming videos. Thank you and bye guys.